Now we're gonna go to the jerk. We're gonna focus on the split jerk because it's what's commonly used. Usually I like to avoid using the power jerk because people have a hard time keeping stability over their head when they'd use that lift. So we're gonna start with just leg movement. For this, we place the hands on the hips. Make sure you have space, you're not too close to a barbell or the rack. So for this, make sure your feet are in the position that you're gonna take your split in. So for me, it's shoulder width apart. From here, I'm gonna go to my toes and I'm gonna get out wide. So things that we wanna make sure when we're in the split, we wanna make sure that the knee is over the heel or slightly behind. We don't wanna be in this position because usually that tends to pull you forward in the overhead position. And then this leg starts to kick instead of absorbing force overhead, all right? So another thing is we wanna ensure that we're not in a straight line. When you're in a straight line and you're overhead, it reduces your ability to counterbalance either way if the bar is moving one way more than the other. So again, we'll get a little wider there. Another thing is you want to make sure that the back heel is high. You want to make sure you're in this position, not kicking back and your heel touching the floor. Or, as I usually see, the heel coming in. So we want to make sure we're in this position, the knees bent, and that you're using your hip. You're not just lazy with that back leg. We want to ensure that both legs are absorbing force from overhead. So once you get the lockout, you finish absorbing through your legs. I'll show that one more time. Here, and getting wide and enough length. One more time. Just like that. Ensuring that my torso is staying upright and my head is straight ahead and I'm making eye contact with something from the start and I keep contact with that same thing the whole time. We don't want to see the head moving or the head down here at the end of your lift. All right, that now takes us to the tall jerk. So I like to use 3 different positions. I'll go ahead and demonstrate them on the bar. So the first position, the bar is right underneath the chin. From here, it's not on my shoulders, it's underneath the chin. I'm gonna press through and get to my split jerk position. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead and take the lift. I'm gonna tighten up. Take my lift. Back down to that same position. I'm gonna do 3 in each. The next position is at eye level. So I'm gonna take the bar to my eyes. Now I'm gonna go into ankle extension. I'm gonna finish the press and drop under. Each time, note my recovery. Small step with the front leg, small step with the back leg. One more. And the last one's gonna be on my forehead. And that's the tall jerk series. So it's 3 different positions. Usually I like to do 3 in each position. That way you really get the understanding of it and your body gets used to doing it that same way. Now we're gonna go to a behind the neck jerk. You're already gonna be in a half split position. All I'm gonna do is lean forward and finish that step. So behind the neck. From here, like I said, I'm gonna be in a half split position already. From here, I'm still gonna take the same dip I would while I'm in the position before I take the jerk. So front rack position, I'm gonna take the dip and finish overhead. This simplifies the lift for people, so it puts them halfway already in that position, and going from behind the neck is typically easier for people. So I'm gonna take the dip, I'm gonna brace before, and then for these, note how the front of the foot or the foot is getting out and it's in front of the knee every time. That ensures I'm not pushing the knee in front of the heel. On that one, I had to stabilize a little bit more with my back leg. That's why it's very important to be wide and have enough length apart from the feet. Now we could focus on what I want to see in the starting position. So here, I want to ensure that the bar is staying tight on the back. What I mean by that is when you take your dip, you don't leave the bar up in the air and then it crashes on you at the bottom. So when you take your dip, it's very important to pull the bar with you through the whole motion. All right, so pulling the bar with you, got it. Now I want to ensure that your quads you're fully extending your knees. So you're flexing your quads essentially. So I'm going to go ahead, pull down on the bar, flex my quads, tighten up my glutes, brace my abs, and then I'm ready to take my lift. Okay, so we went through the setup. We'll backtrack and we'll go through the dip now. I'm going to tighten up. I'm going to slowly start to push my knees out, and I want to ensure that my torso stays upright. That's why we're focusing so much on bracing. So again, very slowly, pull down, tighten up, torso stays between the legs on the dip. Same exact dip that we see on the dip drive and all the other exercises we've gone through. One more time. And now that takes us to the jerk from the front rack position. That's the way you'll see it in the classic clean and jerk movement. All the same principles apply, except now we got to get our head out of the way so you don't knock your teeth out. All right, so from this position, I want to ensure that my elbows are slightly pointed out. When you're in this position, I'm going to turn. You'll see my back starts to round slightly. When I point my elbows out, now I'm in an extended position, all right? So very important. Elbows pointed out. From this position, same principles. Make sure the bar doesn't crash on you at the bottom, so you pull it with you the whole time. Knees go out during the dip, and your torso stays upright. So I'm going to go ahead and take the lift. I'm going to brace first. Another important part, I'm going to just go slowly back to that split position. Through your recovery, ensure that you continue to reach up. A lot of the times you see people just stop and relax, and then as they lift the leg up, they miss the lift because the elbows bend. So we want to ensure we continue to reach through, small step, still reaching, you get your down signal, and then you drop. Now we'll show the clean and jerk together. Like I said, this is the way that you'll do it in competition. In training, very common to split them, so you could overload each exercise on its own. From the start position, re-rack, get in your start position, take your lift. Down signal, and back down. Now I'll go full speed. And that is a clean and jerk.